What's up, guys? This is Matt with From Ashes to New, and you're listening to Antihero Online.
The band's new album, The Future, is coming out on 4/20. The future looked a little bleak for the band working on this new album, and a lot of things have changed since the last album's release. Can you kind of tell me about some of the curveballs the band was thrown during that time frame?
Yeah, man. I mean, like you said, the future looked bleak. I don't know if it ever really looked that bleak in our eyes. We knew that what we needed to do and who we needed to find, and we were able to find Danny. I think a lot of the industry gave up hope in us. They saw us on a fast rise on the last album cycle, and then our singer quit. And then they were like, "Oh, well, what's From Ashes to New going to do now?" But I'm one of those people that you can't count out. It's going to take a lot more than one dude leaving the band to count me out. So. I don't know if there was many curveballs. I think that, I dealt with a lot of anxiety and had some problems with some things because of what was kind of lying underneath it. But I think that all of the adversity that we faced during that process is what helped us create what we feel is the best product we were able to, have created so far. We're really, really excited about the future, no pun intended.
What was it like having a new person involved with the creative process? The band already kind of established a sound. They established, everything that the band was, and then now you got to kind of start all over again with a new frontman and singer.
Yeah, so Lance was in the band too before, he actually was a part of the creative process when it came to the EP and day one. Most of the creative process for the previous stuff before the member change was actually me. So, 90% of the sound that you heard from the old From Ashes to New stuff was stuff that I had created. And when it came to creating the new stuff, it was really cool because each new member brings the ability to write music and a very strong knowledge of music theory. So, even so much more than what I have. These guys, before it was just me writing from how I felt. And we were able to take that and conjoin it with music theory and make what we're doing now. So the process was awesome, man. To be able to rely on, in the mental state that I was in, to be able to rely on some of these guys to be able to create when things needed to be created was a breath of fresh air from the way that the process had gone before.
And did that kind of give you a little bit of a relaxed bit of a feeling? Kind of taking some of the pressure off of your shoulders so you could focus on everything that was going on in your life, but still be productive as an entire band, having those extra members around to kind of fill in the gaps.
Yeah, absolutely, man. There were times where I had to just break away and deal with something, on the business end of things. What fans and some people don't understand is when you go through a big member change like that, there's a lot of stuff that comes behind that. And you have to focus a lot of energy on that. And when I was having to focus a lot of energy on those types of things, the guys, were able to focus their energy on making our new album. So it was huge. I'm not sure that we would be in the position that we're in right now if it wasn't for the new members. And even Lance, you don't consider him a new member, but he's a new writing member, them being a part of what we're doing.
And did that kind of build a tighter friendship within the band, even knowing that the new guys were just kind of walking into this?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that the chemistry is huge because of that. Before it was kind of a rift that it created. I think that there was some resentment with the other members and the fact that, and I'll go ahead and say it. I don't care. With me doing a lot of work and them kind of sitting back and trying to reap benefits that didn't necessarily exist. And I'm not saying that they always did that, but more times than not, it kind of ended up that way. So, with these guys coming in and really putting a lot of work into it and pouring themselves into what we were doing, I think that definitely created a stronger bond and a better chemistry than what the band has ever had.
Did you walk into this album? It was the band's sophomore album. A lot of bands kind of hit a sophomore slump. Were you having that in the back of your mind when you walked into this one with the whole creative process, or were you just like, fuck it, we're going to do what we want, and whatever happens, happens?
Yeah, man. I think if you walk into any situation like that, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. And, for me as a writer, and I think that I can speak for the other guys on this, is we don't look at anything from a business standpoint. We don't look at anything from what the outside looks at it, as they're looking in. we just do what comes natural to us. And if it translates and it conveys the message that we have, then you know, our purpose is fulfilled. But I don't think that any of us had in mind sophomore slump. I think that's something that you paint yourself into a corner with if you do that.
And talking about the new album and the creative process and everything that went into this record, what did you guys learn from the first record that you wanted to incorporate in this new record, and what were some of the things that you wanted to change now that you had that first record under your belt?
I mean, I learned a lot because, you know, the EP and I've never really written music before. So it's kind of, From Ashes to New was kind of like my first take on writing full songs, melodies, lyrics, things like that. So, you know, it's kind of like playing a video game, man. Like, the more you practice it, the better you get. I think it's that way with everything that you do. And, you know, I think that there's a lot of things musically that we did on the previous work that didn't make as much sense as some of the stuff that we're doing now. Some people would say that it's, you know, I've read some comments and stuff. People are like, I don't know, they seem like they're taking kind of a safe approach. And it's like, it's not really as much as it's a safe approach as it's a better calculated approach. It's a better, you know, like I said, these guys know theory better than I do. Everything else was feeling before. Now we were able to put theory and feeling together, something we haven't done before. So I think that's something new in the creative process that I love, because before I would kind of just slap some parts together and call it a song. Now they're kind of like a smooth, you know, train ride.
Now, you brought up the kind of negative comments about it, and the album really isn't even out yet. With that type of response, are you kind of expecting more negative responses when the album comes out, or are you kind of expecting the mixed approach with the whole thing?
It's funny because when we did day one and it came out, one of the things that I said, because everyone looked at From Ashes to New like they were blowing up. All From Ashes to New is blowing up, but sitting on the inside looking out, it wasn't like that. It was like, yeah, we're doing well, but what can we do to be better? What can we do to be bigger? And one of the things that I would always say, and everyone thought that I was joking, but I wasn't. I was like, you know what? We don't have enough hate. Like, there's not enough people that dislike us. And I think one of the reasons is that the people who really loved us, they loved us, but not so much as to show us to everybody. And when you get shown to everybody, there's always going to be those people like, oh, no, fuck that, man. You know, we didn't really have that before. Now we have that. And that's exactly what I feel we needed. We needed those people that don't like it. You know, it's refreshing to actually see that. It's refreshing to see that there are people out there bashing the new stuff, because where there's, you know, one hater, there's 10 lovers, and so on.
Exactly.
Now there's so much more, like this. There's already so much more recognition for what we're doing right now with this new stuff than any of our old stuff ever got.
And are you guys kind of using that as motivation going forward?
I mean, that's what it's all about, right?
Exactly.
I mean, if you don't learn from your mistakes, and if you don't try and overcome adversity, then what are you doing? You get complacent. We don't plan to ever be complacent.
I mean, that's a good way to look at it, and that helps, and especially with the changing industry that we're in right now. You really can't be complacent, because, like you said, you're going to paint yourself into a corner.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, the biggest thing with me is humanity, or even life in general, evolves. If it doesn't evolve, it dies. That goes that way with everything. And I just said this on a live feed the other day. I said, you know, if the first humans, when they first discovered fire, you know, if one of them was really excited about it, and then another one came in and said, no, fire bad, and then they just decided to get rid of fire because it was something new that they didn't know, or a wheel that was round instead of square, you know, it was just, you know, it was something that they didn't know. If they decided to do that, we would have never evolved as a species, and we'd probably be extinct by now. So, and I look at that with rock music in general, especially the active rock market, we have to evolve the market. If we don't evolve this market, it's going to die.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And we're watching that happen. You know, we're watching everyone's bitching about pop music and rap music and all. It's so big, and because it constantly evolves. It's constantly fresh. It's constantly, you know, again, it's pop culture. It's trendy. And trendy is constantly evolving, which is giving it a new, fresh look, you know, every so often, as to where it's bringing new people in. Active rock is not doing that. It's sticking to what I consider a broken model. And we need to fix that. We need to evolve it. We need to bring fresh blood in, bring new people in that want to enjoy this music.
Oh, yeah, totally. You definitely hit the nail on the head with that one. And you guys kind of, I don't want to say rejuvenated, but you brought back a genre that really hasn't been active since the early 2000s with, mixing rap and rock and rap and metal. What are your major influences when it comes to the style of music that you guys produce?
I mean, my biggest influences in music, I mean, I have many of different influences in life, but my biggest influence in music has always been Eminem. And, when it comes to mixing genres, I don't think there was, for me, going through music as I always did, and then to the creation of From Ashes to New, I don't think that there was an intentional purpose to mix these. Actually, I know there wasn't an intentional purpose. A lot of people like to say, "Oh, the Linkin Park, wannabes, or Hollywood Undead wannabes." And it's like, for me, it's like I never really wanted to be anything. Okay. I just wanted to create music, and this just so happened to be the music that got me to where I'm at. I've created all sorts of different kinds of music before, but this happens to be where I shine. So I don't know. I don't think there was a conscious decision to revive any type of market. It just happened to be the music that I love mixed together. I love metal, I love rock, I love rap, I love pop. And I think that I can speak for the other guys too, that they all do the same. So it was a no-brainer when it comes to mixing them all together.
And I think the thing that people tend to forget the most is rap and metal and rock have collaborated way before anything in the name of Linkin Park or Papa Roach or any of them bands kind of came onto the scene. And, all the way back in the early 90s and late 80s, rap and rock and metal were collaborating.
It's just different rhythms, and if you're a good rapper or you're rapping in the key of the song, it's not like you're just talking. You know what I mean? So and if you're a good rapper, you have to be talented to be a good rapper. I've heard a lot of people, especially growing up through loving rap when I was a kid, I've heard a lot of people say, "Well, that's crap. That's just speaking words to beats." And it's like, nah, it's a lot more than that, man.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You can write your raps, but if you're there's so much involved, and again, I'm just a music appreciator. I'll give everything its fair shake, except for mumble rap. I won't give that a fair shake. That's crap. That literally is crap.
Since you brought that up, I got to get your opinion on that, especially with the hip hop and the rap genre where it's at now. It seems like there's more of that mumble rap, and it seems like the genre is completely changing from what it originally started from. What are your feelings on that?
I don't know, man. I mean, I think that kids are drinking Tide Pods and snorting condoms. I mean, what? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I think it goes hand in hand. I don't know if you're familiar with Idiocracy, but man, I feel like we're living in it. So, listen, music's music. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's a dope beat." Like, even my drummer will tell you that he listens to some of that stuff because it's, quote, a dope beat. But, for me, music it's got to have a little bit more substance than just a dope beat. Because almost any kid in the world right now that has a sense of rhythm can create a dope beat on a laptop. So I don't know, man. I mean, I think that music's constantly evolving, and it should, especially like I said in pop culture. But I think that mumble rap stuff's a little too experimental for me.
And you were talking about it having a little bit of a deeper meaning other than a dope beat. When you guys were going through and writing the lyrical content for the songs, what were the main inspirations behind the lyrical content? Was any of the changes in the band an influence in the lyrics?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I think there's always, From Ashes to New always has that from ashes to new feel, going from the bottom and making your way to the top, being the underdog, overcoming adversity, telling people that told you can't, that you can, and but it was cool bringing the other guys in because they had fresh take on it. Like our song "Nowhere to Run" is about becoming an animal in our instinctive ways, or "Crazy" is a song about not being able to shake something that you're addicted to. So I think there's a lot of different angles because there's a lot of different writers on this new album. But my take in my writing has always been just overcoming adversity and staying strong and believing in yourself.
And the last thing that I got for you is with the new album that's coming out, is there the possibility to hit the road and hit the tour cycle again with this one?
Yeah, so we've got almost all of May booked up right now. We have Rock on the Range, Carolina Rebellion, Northern Invasion, and then some dates in between with 10 Years,
Oh,
a
shit.
couple headlining dates, some stuff with Shaman's Harvest, and I think a one-off with Other Live or something like that. And then we're working on some stuff for the summer right now. We don't have anything solidified yet, but we got some cool things in the works, so we should have that stuff done soon.
Hell yeah, man. And you said Carolina Rebellion. I'm in North Carolina, and I will be at Carolina Rebellion as a journalist. What are you kind of looking forward to with the major festivals that you guys are playing?
Danny's first time on the big stage in front of the big people. Yeah, man. I mean, I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
And
seeing how Danny rocks it in front of all those people, 20,000 or more strong.
And are you guys going to have an opportunity to kind of experience the festivals a little bit, or are you guys going to have to, play your set, pack it up, and get out of town?
I think we have some time in between. I mean, I've played all of these festivals before, but I think it's cool for Danny because he hasn't been able to experience stuff like this. So, I think that's going to be cool. Kind of living vicariously through him and watching him experience it for the first time.
He's going to be like a kid on Christmas, pretty much.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be cool. I'm glad that he's a good dude, so I'm glad he gets to experience this type of thing, in his musical endeavors.
All right, that's awesome, man. That's pretty much everything that I got for you. Is there anything that I didn't touch on that you would like to add? Social media sites where people can find you guys, pre-order the album, those types of things.
They can find us everywhere, man, and everywhere they find us, they'll find the ability to pre-order the album. It's pretty easy, man. I mean, it's if you want to find From Ashes to New, you'll find them.
Album drops on 4/20. I listened to it. I liked it. I liked the content, and I like the direction that you guys are going. I can't wait to hear more, and I can't wait to see you guys at Carolina Rebellion as well.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. Rebellion's going to be a hell of a time.